Yes, I think so far you could say that, in the series it's really been Bumrah. Siraj has given him a bit of support. He's been, his fiery self. He's been at the batter all the time. But he wasn't quite getting the breakthroughs. Today he was getting the ball to curve away very nicely from the right-hander. But he was again maybe bowling just a little bit short of the drive.
And then team celebration is a joyous thing.
Well, it was very exciting actually at the drinks break to see Rohit Sharma walk out and have a very, very animated chat with the team at that drinks break. Well, it's even more exciting for us this morning that Rohit Sharma is joining us right now on the Star Network. So let's hear it straight from Rohit, who stepped down in this test match, resting himself. Let's hear it straight from Rohit Sharma. If Rohit Sharma did not do it the way that Rohit Sharma does things, Justin Langer joins us with Sunil Gavaskar as well. And JL said, oh, what did he say? So Jatin was just thanking him from the bottom of the heart. It's an honor. No Indian captain has done something like this. You rested yourself in a test match, come on a broadcast, spoke honestly, and he said, thank you so much, and was giving him a very emotional send-off. He said, I'm not going anywhere. Because he's made it very clear that this was not a retirement announcement, but he's made it clear that what needs to be done for this team at this moment, Sunny G, was that I'm not a batter in form. We need to put boys in form right now because this series is still very, very crucial. The Border Gavaskar Trophy that has your name on it, they're fighting to save the series.
Yeah, I think it's a very clear thinking and a very clear explanation as to why he didn't play this game, that he didn't feel he was in good enough form to warrant a place in the 11, and that somebody in form should be playing. And I think that just tells you, how the thinking is, in this Indian team, that, the team matters and not the individual. And which is why the Indian team has been playing so well over the last so many years. They support each other. There's been a lot of togetherness, despite all the reports, particularly the Australian media, about rifts and stuff like that, which really, I mean, I don't think it really matters to these players, because I don't think they even are bothered about reading any of that stuff. This will happen. Every time India doesn't do well, there's always this loose talk about camps in the team. That's been there because it's almost as if the Indian cricket team is such a team that it cannot lose. That if it loses, it is not a cricketing reason. It's got to be some other reason. Australia played much better cricket in those two matches which they won. I mean, they won the Adelaide game in 2.5 days. They dominated that Adelaide game after having lost in Perth. Maybe that gap of 10-12 days between the two test matches might have actually suited Australia, because they were able to recover, they were able to regroup, they were able to assess what went wrong at Perth, and then they came back very well. And then again in Melbourne, I think towards that last couple of hours, they kept their drive. They didn't let up. They tried something different, got results, and then they got stuck in again. So I think you've got to take that into account. That doesn't mean that somebody plays a shot like that he's not. There is a problem within the team, and so that's the kind of clear thinking that is required. And once that kind of clear thinking is then conveyed to the players. For example, when Shubman Gill was not picked, they said, this is the balance of the team, so you're not being dropped, so it's nothing to do with your performance, but we need an extra bowler, or we need an extra batter who can bowl a bit. So that's when the clear thinking is that clear, there's no problem at all.
I mean, just his movements, his body language, that was a drink space, just a personification, JL, of where this team is at mentally, how much this series just matters, and also make it really clear, despite the speculation in international media all over and opinions that are floating around, don't treat this as a retirement. That is Rohit Sharma's call. He's been an icon of this game. He's a World Cup winning captain for us as well. That's his call when he decides to take it. The call was taken for the team at the moment, and the team at the moment have taken those 5 wickets. He's backing his bowlers to be able to show the fight. He said, he asked of young Sam Constas, he said, listen, if you give it to us, we will give it back. And that's the nature of the game, Jay.
Look, what I've learned in a long time, Sonny G's learned it the same. If you're winning, people say nice things. If you're not winning, people don't. And they look to try and find, and I said it yesterday, I don't buy into all this, what's happening in the Indian dressing room, because there's been whispers here and whispers. I don't buy into it.
You faced it yourself?
Well, of course. We've seen it as a player and a coach. And if you're winning, No one talks about it. If you're not, they try and find all sorts of reasons. Now, what I saw yesterday was very interesting about Sam Constas. Usman Khawaja was out, and the whole Indian team was almost like they came as one, and then we saw them bring that energy today. We saw the pre-address of Jasprit Bumrah, and he was fired up. And now Australia are 5 for 101 at lunch. India, you could say, are on top of the
Australian team because, he's the man who's scoring the hundreds. Travis Head also scored a couple of hundreds, but it's Steve Smith whose batting is such that while you could say that Travis Head gave him the confidence during that Gabba 100 because Smith was at that time struggling and Travis Head took the pressure off him. After that, it's been Smith who's really been putting the pressure back on the Indians. And he was looking very good, looking very, very good. Those straight drives that he played, the cut shot that he played, the hook shot that he played, he was playing everything. So this was a beauty of a delivery. Prasidh Krishna, he's a kind of bowler who wants to hit the deck, which will mean there won't be that much movement. This one, he pitched it up, and he got that little movement and the edge.
Gosh, it's been a cauldron. Sorry, JL.
Just before the break, Steve Smith's out. Not 10,000 in your club yet, Sonny,
no.
But he has been playing so well. They will be a great relief from India that he's no longer there.
Yep.
Oh, it's been a cauldron of pressure. Most wickets by an Indian bowler in a series overseas. Jasprit Bumrah, Maruti Suzuki player to watch. That's understandable, but India has a bowling unit now to extract the pressure.
How would I describe it? Prasidh looked nervous and almost out of his depth. But when he came back down here at the pad, if they've got him and they can just get a lead of a couple of hundred. Wow,
Yeah.
What a game.
And the way he walked also looked as if, there's maybe just a little niggle at the moment. Maybe they just want to make sure that it's not a tear. Whether it's a groin thing is what it looks like. And if that is the case...
So I'm just getting news, Sunnyji, that it's possibly the back that they want to look at, and that was the area of concern heading into the surgery as well.
The back.
Yeah, so it could be a bit of a workload
surgery,
management
yes.
things, yes.
Yes, he's had that surgery last year, very serious surgery. And so he's come through that quite well. So, yes, if that's an issue, then it is a bit of a worry. Just maybe, I think, one innings left. And after that, he can always have a break because India don't play anything till I think mid-June or something like that. So there's plenty of time for recovery. But back injuries are always very tough.
Well, I mean, we have no confirmation, so we'll get you those confirmations and those updates as soon as we hear them. We'll also get a little bit of what Rohit Sharma did say on our show. He had joined us during lunch, confirming that, listen, don't you think about or speculate about my future. This is just me out of form, and I have opted to drop myself in this test match. What he did say, Mark Nicholas, however, is that I've got to give the batters, some of them still finding form, a little bit more confidence. It's a very, very slim 4-wicket lead that you have, 4-run lead that you have, primarily because of the wickets that have fallen. So let's look back on the
length. So you had a tall, well-set guy like Mo Webster also having a bit of a problem. Mitchell Starc having a problem. They turned the captain Pat Cummins. That was a super catch that by Kohli to his left. That ball was really travelling. So I think what they've done is they've also given Australia the hope and the belief that their bowlers taller, who will release the ball from more than 200 metres, will cause a lot more problems for the Indians. So the Indians will not find batting easy, that's for sure. Yes, the roller will help a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be easy. So this last session of play today, India need to ensure they don't lose more than 2 wickets. So even if it's slow going, even if they score 60 in the last couple of hours, maybe 65 for 2. If they get with 65 for 2, I think they will have had a good day.
Well, we haven't really had opportunities where a captain has walked in on a broadcast and laid terms as it is. Well, this is what Rohit Sharma, just a brief of what he had to say during our lunch show.
Rohit, that was बातचीत पे
An explosive first over from Jasprit Bumrah, 16 runs of Yashasvi Jaiswal, and then you did end up seeing a little bit of Rishabh Pant here at the SCG. But Sanjay, since you're very eloquent, as Mark Nicholas is, as Simon as well, Sanjay, I'll just leave you to kind of sum up the day because I'm not really sure whose day it is at the end of day's play.
Well, all I can say is that Test cricket is the winner. Okay. On a serious note, I mean, if I have to put on the neutral, spectators hat, lots to admire. in the day. One is you haven't really got an understanding of the pitch. Did India sort of feel that this pitch is where you think there's one ball with your name on it and try and make hay while the sun shines? Then there was that Rishabh Pant innings, whether that is going to be the difference eventually in the total. India's bowling without Bumrah, the way they came back in, Australia's batting fragility that has haunted them through the series and that has kept India alive in the series. So much to talk about. And I think to answer your question, if Australia look at this pitch and say that, you know what, there may be not too many demons in this pitch, then they might play differently. And if India get 170 or 180, they might be able to get there. But the Bumrah scan factor will hold the key.
Well, Mark Nicholas was the one who said at the start of India's innings, I want to see Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rishabh Pant play their shots, play with that action, because you've got to get yourselves a cushion. They've lost 6 wickets, but they've got a lead of 145. Would they take that at the end of the day?
Yeah. I would say that of the two, in answer to your question, I'd say India would be the happiest because they're back in the game. I think getting bowled out for 180, you do worry that a 250, 260 score and you're out of the game. So I would say they're marginally the happier. We don't know about Jasprit, but clearly that's important.
Look back at his innings and you look at it, if it's a force for good brought to you by Aditya Birla Group. This innings, in retrospect, the shots, also the interview at the end of the first innings saying that I kind of had to play with a little bit of uncertainty. I was being a little careful. I was trying to be risk averse. And now you see this different version.